Hey guys, welcome back, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the current classes in the game and which one would be right for you. Now, something to note is that almost all classes are extremely well balanced right now, and you can get away with pretty much playing any of them if you're skilled enough. I know that some of my friends have been like, hey, should I switch to this class or stay how I am? Additionally, we'll be talking about new balance changes and how that will affect which class to choose in the future. Now on to our first class, Warrior. Warrior is generally an up-close kind of fighting that is about doing more damage than you're taking. You can do lots of damage with this class, close up, or go for more of a ranged approach with Muscular Dagger. This class has lots of variety and you can play it in lots of different ways. But remember that Warrior doesn't give tons of new attacks that most mixed builds can get. Now, what will change with Warrior in the Dark Sea update? Well, not only are we getting two new warrior class skills with Flying Phoenix from swords and the polearm skill from spears, but warrior is getting 5% damage and speed buff to the awakening. The silent claws and twin swords are also getting buffed, and all weapon energy is decreased by 40%. All weapon energy used is decreased by 40%, allowing you to use weapon skills back to back much more often. This will buff all classes' weapons a ton, but Warrior will be a great choice for the future update. Now to move on to Conjurer. Conjurer is generally considered to be the most balanced class in the game. With weapons being really solid and magic imbuements doing well, Conjurer is always a solid pick for a class. Some things that will be added in the Dark Sea update for Conjurer is a buff to magic imbuement damage by 50%, which means that generally imbued weapons will do more damage, and a couple magics will get buffed or nerfed with the imbuements. For example, Magma will get speed buff, Metal will get damage and speed buff, Wind will get a nerf to damage, nerfs to the Sand magic, Plasma magic, Lightning, and Light, all in their damage. Now, we move on to Mage. Oh boy, Mage. Mage currently isn't the best in the game. With the pulsar nerf and not doing lots of damage, Mage is largely focused on attack speed, and agility. Mages don't have a crazy fast attack move, and the only way they really get damage is by having a fast beam or blast. Now, some things that will buff Mage in the Dark Sea. Blast spells will now have 2 times the AoE as before, snare and lag is almost halved, pulsar might get a slight damage buff, all status effects are buffed, making them last longer and have better effects, including paralyzing. Metal is buffed, Magma is buffed, like I said. And 2 possibly very strong mage moves are being added. This is Surge and Javelin. Surge does a continuous stream of magic for a period of time, and Javelin does more of a piercing move that does damage over time. Honestly though, unless these moves are really strong, I don't see Mage coming back with too much power. However, the dodging styles will really help Mage in this time, as it didn't have a lot of side-to-side mobility as it will now that this is implemented. Now, we move on to Warlord, which might be the reason why any of you clicked on this video in the first place, as currently it is very meta. With fighting styles giving lots of mobility and weapons being so versatile, Warlord is a really solid pick. However, once you see the new balance changes, you might change your mind. All grabs and crashes go less further if not towards an enemy, making the crash move much worse. I think that dodging styles will simply replace it, but who knows. However, with an edge on aerial combat with the new dodging styles, like I said, fighting styles specifically won't have as much of an edge over everything else. Thermal Fist has been nerfed as well, now doing less max damage, heat drains 33% faster, and smashes AoE goes down by 50% as a nerf as well. By the way, I'll also be roping in some of the Berserker changes, as they don't really touch the Berserker too much. Shot also might get a possible range nerf, but we don't know much about it. And that's about it for Warlord. Generally, a really strong class, but it is getting nerfed for the Dark Sea update. And finally, Berserker. Berserkers are getting an iron leg damage and speed buff, a boxing nerf, and focus is lasting for 5 seconds longer. 2 new brand new fighting styles are being introduced into the update, Silencio I think, and Uppercut. You might want to play Berserker, as from I heard, these new fighting styles are, I think, only obtainable, at least Uppercut is, by Berserkers. And I heard that Uppercut might be really strong. Generally, what I said to Warlord applies to Berserker minus the weapons, but it is a strong class, and depending on how good Uppercut and, well, Silencio is, it could be really good in the Dark Sea update. Now, for a general list of changes that can't make it into the other things I said, but will still really affect you. Attack size, attack speed, intensity, and agility have all been buffed, so they scale more. Their gems give more stats, and amulets give 26% more of each stat. All defense on armor is nerfed by 10% base defense. All strong enchants on armor is nerfed by 15%. All hard enchants are nerfed by 25%, and attack speed is 20% slower overall. Attack speed affects lag now by 25%. Arrows and bullet speed is increased by 30%, and that's about it for everything I already mentioned. Besides the Piercing Gale nerf, which means that Piercing Gale will have 30% more startup time and a 15% lag addition. Alright, so that'll be pretty much it, guys. Generally, most classes in this game are really well balanced, and they're really good.
Armo.
Screaming and stuff. That's like, you're such a bad actor. Give me your book.
Oh no. Crap. Help me. Save me. Someone.
Such a bad actor. You're such a bad actor. Anyways, that's it. Ignoring that distraction, like I said, all classes are really good and balanced. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.